Hey guys, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video, we're gonna break down the 15 best tips and tricks to help you tackle your day at Universal Orlando. These are the 15 best tips and tricks that we picked up over the years because listen, we still love to vacation and visit the parks just as much as you guys. And I have to be honest, a lot of these, you guys really have taught us because parents are definitely very, very quick on their toes and they find little things here and there that will definitely help them utilize their day a lot better. So these are some of the best tips and tricks we've picked up over the years. We do hope that you guys found this video helpful. Let's go get started. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Like I said, here are some of the best tips and tricks for your next Universal Orlando vacation. And we do think that you will find these helpful, even if you're just planning one day at Universal, all the way up to 5 days at Universal. It doesn't matter. You'll get to find these tips and tricks helpful, and you'll be able to implement them during your next Universal Orlando trip. So starting out with number one, and we're gonna go with have a plan for breakfast going into your days. And as you'll see, as we get through this list, we're gonna show you some ways that we help our clients really show up early and get on some of the most popular rides before most guests even get into the park. So a big part of that though is your morning is really gonna be jammed packed and you guys are gonna be going on some of the most popular rides. So number one is make sure that you have a plan for breakfast, because I do have to admit, Universal Orlando is lacking in sense of, good breakfast spots. So you want to maybe have some quick stuff you can grab and go back at the hotel, or just when you get over to City Walk, know that, maybe you want to stop at Starbucks and just grab a quick muffin and, grab the kids some water, stuff like that. Definitely have a game plan, because we don't want to see you guys get to the parks and not have a plan or be hungry early in the morning. As we all know, I get cranky when I'm hungry. So we don't want that to ruin the start of your day. Number two, and sticking with the morning vibes, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to park and then go through security at Universal City Walk. So if the parks open up at 8 o'clock and you guys want to make sure that you are in the parks at 8 o'clock, plan to get over to Universal at least a half hour to 45 minutes before, so you do have enough time to park like we said, and then go through security. And you'll see from the parking lot, and the cool thing is the parking lot, it's the same for all three parks, but the walk from the parking lot over to the actual parks, it's about a 10-minute walk, right? So you do have to give yourself a little extra time. Number three, and kind of going back to the breakfast a little bit, but maybe not so much, is make sure you take advantage of VOODOO Doughnuts. Now, if you guys are donut fans, you're simply going to want to go and check out VOODOO Doughnuts. It is really one of my favorite donut places in the world, not just in Orlando, but there are only 6 locations in the world. So if you are in Universal Orlando at City Walk, you definitely want to take advantage of it. And not only that, as you can see, it could be a great option to grab some quick breakfast in the morning and then go into the park. So do not sleep on VOODOO Doughnuts. You will not regret it. Going over to number 4, now getting into the fun stuff. And that is going to be have a top priority ride list, and make sure you have a ride list or, a park plan going into your day. And that's definitely something that using a travel planner like the Park Prodigy can help you out. We, help all of our clients come up with custom itineraries. So you have a game plan going into your day, and you'll see if you have that plan, the day will just go so much more smoothly. Even if you get sidetracked a little bit here and there, and it's kind of still better to have a plan and get sidetracked than just completely, getting overwhelmed and getting sidetracked once you get to the parks. And you'll see during specific times of year, it can be overwhelming to plan a Universal Orlando trip. But listen, that's what we're here for. And I do hope that you're finding this video helpful already. Over to number 5, be aware of the water rides. Now, I personally am the type of vacationer, especially when I'm at the theme parks, I don't like to get wet. I don't like to be wet all day, soggy, socks, shoes. That's not for me, right? So just be aware that there are some water rides in Universal Orlando. Specifically, the top one that comes to mind is Dudley Do-Right's Ripshore Falls. And then over at, I believe it's being refurbished. I'm not sure what's going on when Universal might actually be replacing it, but they do have a Popeyes ride as well. You will get very, very wet on both of these rides. Taking it one step further, if you are in the process of planning and it seems like you're doing the right thing if you're watching this video, maybe bring some ponchos from home. Not only that, think of cheap stuff that you can get at home that are going to be more expensive in the theme park. Ponchos are definitely one of them. Reusable water bottles, we'll get into a little bit, definitely another one. Just little things like odds and ends like that. Bring them from home because it will be cheaper and save you money on your trip. Moving on to number 6, and I definitely felt like a millennial when I added this one to the list. This one definitely has me feeling a little bit older. However, it was so important for me to add this because I sometimes get motion sickness on some of the Universal Orlando rides. And it's important for me to add it to this list because I do think the Universal Orlando rides are so different from the Disney rides. I don't really get that motion sickness over when we vacation at Disney. However, you'll see a lot of the Universal Orlando rides have a lot of large screens and you're moving very, very quickly in a large majority of the rides. So we're just saying, just be aware of that, right? Maybe you want to bring some Dramamine from home. And again, it's making me feel a little bit older, but it's the truth that I'm at the point in my life where I'm not going to be, right? I don't want to overthink my motion sickness. I just want to deal with it and be prepared, right? I think as you get older, you know that you want to be prepared. So this is one of the ways we're helping you guys be prepared. If you do get motion sickness, at some point during your day, if you're going on all of the rides, you might feel that motion sickness. Be prepared and just know that going in, there are, a bunch of rides that might make you feel that way. Okay, moving on to number 7. And this is going to be use the child swap when possible. Now, one of the great ways that you guys could take advantage of some of the more thrilling rides, but stay together as a family is to use child swap. Very simply, this is one of the ways where you guys can, like I said, wait as a family on the actual queue. And then once you get to the front of the line, there will be a room where you guys can swap, right? So one parent stays with the young child if they can't go on the ride. Then when the ride is over, swap, the next parent stays with the young child while the other parent goes on the ride, maybe with some of the other kids in your family. So this is just another great way that you guys can stay together and then everyone can kind of enjoy the ride. Taking it one step further, number 8 on the list, use the single rider lines. Now, guests 10 or older can take advantage of the single rider lines, and it's just like it sounds. You guys pretty much, you'll go on the ride one at a time. However, they tend to be some of the shorter lines, for some of the most popular rides. So if you guys are okay with splitting up to actually ride the ride, and you're looking to save some time, take advantage of the single rider line. Number 9, going back to saving some time and money, bring a backpack. And then not only that, speaking of breakfast, the quick breakfast, stuff like that, bring some snacks and bring a reusable water bottle into Universal Orlando. Now, of course, you'll want to make sure that you bring I don't even know the best way to say it, like a normal size backpack. I wouldn't bring like a huge backpack because you will see that some of the rides at Universal do require you to put your backpack into a locker. So you definitely just want like a normal school bag backpack. But you could definitely fit a lot of snacks and stuff like that in. And of course, will help you save some time and money. Moving on to number 10, and speaking of saving time and money, save on snacks and make sure you keep an eye out for some shareable snacks. Specifically, one of the most popular ones that comes to mind with all theme parks is, of course, popcorn. And Disney has a shareable popcorn bucket. It's no different over at Universal Orlando, although they aren't as cool as maybe Disney. However, from a money saving standpoint, that's the only thing that matters in this video. That is a great way to save some bucks. Everyone can share on the popcorn and you do get a discount on refills when you do that as well. Another great snack that you guys can share is the large pink donut over at the Simpsons. So definitely keep that in mind if you are, in the mood for a donut, and everyone wants to share. That is another great one that you guys can share, and you'll see that the donuts are ginormous. Okay, moving over to tip number 11, make sure you download and get familiar with the Universal Orlando app. Now, this is such an important part of your trip because you'll see as we grow with technology, a lot of the things that you'll have questions about or want to know are going to be within that Universal Orlando app. So it's just a good idea to download it before you get there and get a little bit familiar with it. Not only that, you'll want to use the app to keep an eye on virtual queues throughout the day. And virtual queues, like they sound, it's essentially going to allow you to avoid waiting on long lines. So again, you want to keep an eye out for that. And we actually did a full little guide on how to use the Universal Orlando virtual line a couple weeks ago. Be sure to go check out that video as well. And if you are finding this video helpful through number 11, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. It would really help us out tremendously. Plus, you will get all the best tips and tricks and the latest breaking news as we get it as well. Moving on to number 12 and sticking with the app, use the mobile ordering aspect of the app whenever it fits into your plans. And again, like it sounds. Mobile ordering can save you a tremendous amount of time because you're not going to be standing in front of the menus once you get to the restaurant trying to figure out what everyone wants. Everyone can pretty much look at the menu on their phone, and then you could place your order and go to pick it up. Pretty seamless, save yourself a lot of time in the parks. Moving on to tip and trick number 13, we have some themes in this video, and sticking with the meals. This is going to be plan your meals around the schedule of the parks. Now, you'll see that during some of the slower times of year, the park hours are going to be scaled back. And what I mean by that is a lot of times during, let's say, January, February, early fall, which is, really late August, September, early October, the park hours are going to close around like 6, 7 o'clock. And this surprises a lot of guests. And a lot of guests, they might feel, hey, like maybe they're getting gypped. But the truth of the matter is that the parks are closing earlier because there's less people in the parks and it's less crowded. So you're still going to get on just as many rides, especially if you have a good game plan. And I actually prefer to go during these times of years because, again, they're less crowded. And especially if you time it right, it's usually more enjoyable with the weather. Not only that, if you do go in the fall, of course, you have Halloween Horror Nights. So that's another reason why maybe the parks are closing a little early. However, like I said, don't let that deter you. It's not really a major downfall in my opinion. One of the cool things about it that I do like to take advantage of is I like to plan my meals around maybe an early, kind of close time at the parks, and then I enjoy City Walk after that. So what I'm saying is, if you do have plans to try to go to a City Walk restaurant, and let's say you're trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time, don't make a lunch reservation, let's say. Make a dining reservation. If the park closes at 7 o'clock, make a dining reservation at Universal City Walk at 7:30. It's just a great way to not miss out on the park hours, because realistically, you paid for those park hours with the ticket, right? So you want to be in the park going on rides. And this is another great way. It's not that late where it's, if the park closes at 10, who wants to eat dinner at 10:30? I mean, some families might, right? I'm though definitely a morning bird at this point in my life. So I like to eat dinner a little bit earlier. If you like that, if you enjoy that as well, this could be a great way to get dinner in at a nice restaurant after your day in the parks. I know that was a long way to just get to a very, very simple tip, but that's tip number 13. Tip number 14, be aware and be familiar with some of the best picture spots in Universal Orlando. A lot of families specifically though are going to have their eyes set on the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And I don't blame you, because the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is simply amazing, and they did such a good job with the theming of this land. If you guys are Harry Potter fans, you're going to want to make sure to take advantage of some of the best known picture spots. Some of the most important, and a few that pop to mind, it's going to be, if you want the spot and a picture in front of Hogwarts Castle, you're going to want to look out for the bridge that connects Jurassic Park and Hogsmeade over at Islands of Adventure. Not only that, keep an eye out for the Hogwarts Express over at Hogsmeade at Islands of Adventure. And then for all my parents out there that want to surprise their kids with some cool tips and tricks, be sure to keep an eye out for the disappearing wall over at Hogsmeade. Going back, if you're going on the Hogwarts Express, there's a disappearing wall photo that your kids can take advantage of. Definitely very, very cool. And of course, on the flip side of things, going from Universal Studios, which is really Diagon Alley, over to Hogsmeade, it's going to be platform 9 3/4. Make sure you take advantage of that. Sticking over at Diagon Alley at Universal Studios, the fire-breathing dragon is going to be another great photo op, and it's of course inside Gringotts Bank. So moving on to number 15, and really sticking with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, take advantage of early park admission if you're going to Universal Orlando. And you'll see if you watched a couple of our videos, you already know we love early park admission. I personally think it's such a great way to save time on your Universal vacation. And the main reason is you're really getting on some of the most popular rides in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And now it also includes the Velocicoaster, which is the newest ride at Universal Orlando. You're getting on those rides really before other park guests even get into the park. So we just feel like it's a huge game changer, a huge time saver. And why would you not take advantage of very, very low wait times, especially if maybe you're traveling during some of the busier times of year? But I still think regardless, it's just a great advantage. You also have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter a little bit to yourself on, the very, very quiet mornings. So it's just a great way to enjoy your time in Universal Orlando. And if you're wondering, how do you get early park admission for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter? Luckily, at the Park Prodigy, we actually do sell Universal Orlando tickets. And the cool thing is all of our Universal Orlando tickets come with early park admission absolutely free. So if you are in the process of planning a Universal Orlando trip and you do need some park tickets, we would love to help you out. You'll definitely save a couple bucks. Plus, you'll get that free early park admission. These are just some of the tips and tricks that we have really learned, and we've been able to help our clients really just tackle the parks so much more efficiently and have the best vacation possible. I hope you guys found this video helpful. And like I said, if you do need some additional help, or if you're looking for some more free resources be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. We do have a bunch of Universal Orlando blogs, videos, all that good stuff. Everything you guys need to be as prepared as possible for your next Universal Orlando trip. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Watch it all the way through the end. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.